Maverick family, how's every single one of you today? It's June 6, 2020, another weekend. Hope all of you are enjoying this beautiful day outside. No more storms. That means I still have power. So good on that matter. And, guys, like the weekend always brings guests, new people that we like to get to know you. We like to, showcase, new talent. In this case, we have the pleasure and we have the honor to have Ronii Flores, great wrestler from Pennsylvania. So how you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying time with family and dealing with all this Corona stuff. I'm doing well. Missing the ring, missing everyone, and especially hearing 1, 2, 3. Definitely missing that right now.
Well, yeah, I can tell that we all had a lot of things that we wanted to do, events that we want to see you perform, in the ring. We were looking forward to that, but of course, situations happen. But that doesn't mean
it looks like though the bulk of that's behind us. It seems like we're going to soon get back to that though. So hopefully
I'm praying
that's the
for
case.
it. Yeah,
exactly.
So it's a pleasure to have you. We're going to be talking about your career, your experiences in this beautiful sport that we love. And we enjoy every single day professional wrestling. So, thank you so very much, family, for watching every single one of the videos. As you remember, we have NXT review, we have AEW, we have Smackdown. I love it. Not such a great show, right, Jean-Paul?
We were a little bit, but like we always say, it's like, are you ready for some bullshit?
Are you ready for some bullshit? There you go. And, we have brand new tag team champs, Bailey and Sasha Banks. But, watch that video because right now it's all about Miss Flores right here. So, Ron, let me... it started out how do you get exposure to professional wrestling?
Oh, so I always grew up. I always grew up watching WWE and WWF. I grew up watching WWF, ECW, and I was very into Impact, the Impact Wrestling, and especially the indie scene. I got into the indie scene in middle school, my early, way before my early teens. And it was something that I always loved. Never thought I can do it, but I always loved with a passion. And it was always my dream to be the mini version of China. So I've always, I never walked towards being the diva. I've always wanted to be a powerhouse. But I'm super short, so I can't really be a powerhouse.
That doesn't matter. Kick ass,
Yeah, I think you still do it.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying really hard, but it's not fun when you're 5'3" and everyone else is 6'7".
Oh, believe me, that's how I have to deal with people. I think we're the same height, and I'm always really tall. So I'm always hey, how's the weather up there?
Yeah, and I'm always yep, I'm gonna lock up, but let me look up. So it's been a blessing, and it's something that I've actually enjoyed so much to learn about, because before I used to always think like everyone else. I used to just think that you're just born a wrestler, so they just did what they want. But going to school and then learning, and especially discovering who you are in and out the ring, it's been a journey. It's been something fun and stressful sometimes, but it's extremely fun, and I would never take anything that.
Now, are you originally from this area? Did you when you went to the independent shows, is that how you got into it? Did you ask someone hey, I want to do this? How do I go to school? Where did you kind of get introduced to learn how to wrestle?
Okay, so that's interesting. So I discovered one of my really close friends introduced me to Sanctuary Stunt Studios here in Hazelton, PA. And when I started going to Sanctuary, they had legend, I consider now legends, because they're top names. They had Ace Austin, they had Sonny Kiss, and in the independent scene, they had Mike Orlando and Ali Rex and Jamie Sinegal, especially Jamie, and Nyla Rose made her appearance there. So I started training there, and it took me a while to actually get in the ring, because I needed to prove to the trainer that it was something that I really wanted. And it's something that I'm happy that I stuck with, because it was, I needed to see that for myself. I needed to see the process of people actually training and, you know, building their characters and just going through things that you're just like, wow, like, I thought you just guys go in the ring and beat each other up. Like, that's not what it is. Like, you need to generally learn how to, you know, like, actually, like, do the moves. And
yeah, it's almost like a fight, but it's also like you're dancing with them too. Like you've heard people say a lot, it's like your dance partner, because you got to work with them. Like you said, you're not just going in there swinging and punching. It's like, okay, you got to duck, and then I'm gonna grab you, and then you're gonna flip, and then I'm gonna do this, and it's like all this like craziness.
Yeah, it's like so entertaining to learn and to see like how things like that can go. But it's I can honestly say my journey was very fun. And it had its ups and downs. Obviously, when you're a female, it's not that easy because it's mostly like a male dominant sport. But you just enjoy being like for me, what I enjoy more about my career is I learned from so many, like, what I consider like legends. Like, I met Su Yung.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was, when I met her, it was extremely, like, I was in shock. I was like, what? Yeah, I can't believe you're in front of me. And then my biggest thing till this day was I actually got to meet Melina while I was training. She showed up while I was training, and till this day, two of the things that she always told me was be yourself. And one thing she told me is stand out. She was like, you, especially me, she was like, you're short, you're beautiful, which coming from Melina, I was like, wow, thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, like, okay, like, I guess I got to continue what I'm doing. And I'm hoping it's paying off. Like, you guys saw me at Outbreak. I've been working really hard. And that was actually one of my first shows I was the only female of the show. So just being the only female of that show, it was something that I was like, wow, I got to get used to working with men again. Because I was so used to working with females, but it's so different when you work with men and you work with the females.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, like I was at some point during that journey that like you wanted to quit. You said, hey, you know, maybe this is not for me, or like it's not what I thought it was gonna be.
So, not really, because one thing about me is before I joined wrestling, I'm a professional dancer. So it's something like I don't have that energy in my body to like say give up. And I've had people tell me you're not good enough, or you're, you know, like you don't belong here. Like, yeah, this is not for you. And me personally with my journey, I got told no several times. I waited a couple years before I actually took my first bump in the ring. Like, I had it a little rough, you can kind of say, like, now that I sat down and actually like looked at my career, like from beginning to today, it's still not easy. But one thing I can gladly say is, even though it was rough, but I always take that as a lesson, and I always push myself to do better. And I push myself to take that as like my motive to continue to prove those people wrong. And to show the fans, especially, like, I've always had little girls come up to me, because you don't really see Latinas much in the wrestling industry, which was very shocking to me. When I joined, I was like, I thought she was Spanish. No, okay, you're Italian. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, like that was my thing. I was like, oh my God, but I thought you were like, no, hola, no, Dora, no. So like, for me, it was just very shocking to see like all these little girls, especially here in Hazelton, PA, when I started training in Sanctuary. There's not that many women that would go there just to do shows, but not to train. So when I started going there and all these little girls would go to the shows and come up to me and tell me like, hey, like, thank you for being an inspiration. And once people started telling me that, I was like, whoa, oh my God, I'm doing something.
It's sinking in, right?
Yeah, like it sunk in, and I was like, oh my God, wait, like I thought I was just like an extra, but apparently not. Like apparently like people were actually paying attention. And to be honest with you guys, like I honestly never thought people were going to pay attention, because I was like, at the time, I didn't have a character. I didn't have someone to, you know, like that one person. Like I wasn't a Sasha Banks. I wasn't a Trish. I wasn't a Lita. So I was like, okay, this takes time. It takes time for me to find out who I am. And now I know. So I'm good to go, I guess, hopefully.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to think too, like you said, going back to what you said about everything you went through. I feel like you're a person who everything you went through, you didn't just go, oh, why is this happening? You looked at it and you said, hey, this is the lesson I learned from it. I'm smarter, and you move on, and that's what you got to do. And I think that's why you're at the point where you're at now. You know, you used all those past experiences as a learning lesson and a stepping stone. And I think with like the little girls and stuff, that's cool, because they, you know, they maybe are watching this as a kid and they think, oh, there's no way I could do something like that. And then when they see you, they're like, well, she can do it. Then, you know, you inspire them. And that's like, I think one of the, probably the best things that wrestlers get out of it is when they can inspire people like that.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I actually like enjoy the most. Like I got told no a few times, and being a woman, you get put down, especially by fans sometimes, like, you're not good, you're not the best. And it's like, well, what do you want me to be? Like, I'm not here to please you. I'm here to live out my dream. You're just watching and enjoying my journey. And one thing that I love is especially for me, like, I'm not a negative person. Like, I love positive energy. And one thing that I always do is, whether I had a really bad match or I know I didn't perform, you know, my best, my number one thing is I leave that like ring and I'm just like, you did it. You did it. Good for you. You did it. You went through it. Whether it was my worst match, I'm always like, you did it. You took that bump. You sold it. You good. So that's my thing. Like, I've learned from, I especially from my background in dancing, and like I also did like acting and singing and all of this shenanigans. If you follow me on Instagram, you should know. Yeah, like
we do.
I go crazy, but I'm a woman of many talents. But my number one thing is like I like positivity. So I especially love like again like seeing the kids and women, like especially women, like. I'm plus size, like I'm not plus size in that matter, but I'm a curvy girl. So being a curvy girl and being super short, one thing that I enjoy is when women come up to me and like say like, oh my God, thank you for representing us curvy girls in the ring. And especially like being sexy. And I'm just like, ooh, I didn't think I was sexy in the ring. Okay, I guess I'm doing it. So like I like the positivity, and especially men, like especially like the fans. Like my number one thing is the fans, and when I get those promoters that tell me like, hey, come back, like it just pushes me to do better and better and better, and to prove all those people that like you can do it. Like whether you get told no or you get pushed back, you can do it. Don't let one door tell you no. Like just continue to knock. And if it's that one door you only have as availability, hey, kick it down. Like show them you got it. I learned that. And when I learned that, I learned I'm unstoppable. And that was the day that I was like, no, I want to prove to everyone, including myself, that I deserve to be here and that I deserve everything that comes in my way, whether it's a championship or I lose every single match or everything. I was just like, I just want to prove to myself and to prove to the fans that like you can do it. And especially kids. My number one thing is the kids, like just seeing their reaction and their response, like is the most beautiful thing any wrestler can see and say, whether you get booed or it's a cheer, just a reaction from the kids and the parents and the rest, everyone else, it's the best feeling because at least you know you're doing something right.
You're getting that emotion from the crowd. So that's important because it's better to have something than nothing. You know,
that's my
you don't
biggest
get
fear.
no reaction, then you pretty much didn't do anything, so nobody's going to remember you. But in your case, even we remember you, so you did your job right. So,
thank God.
Yeah, so tell me, like, how did you develop your character? Like La Fantasia or like the fantasy for, you know, our English-speaking audience.
Right? So the fantasy, okay, so I am first generation in my family. And what was shocker to my family is that I am a transgender woman. And being in the wrestling industry, not a lot of people know that I am trans. So it's very shocking to like other people when they find out. And I just sit there and I'm like, yay, you didn't know. But then at the same time, like, I have to sit there and be like, oh, crap. Like, dang it. They know now. But the name Fantasia came out because this is going to sound crazy. Please, world, don't judge me. But I took it as being in my journey as a trans woman. What I learned is a lot of women and men, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a little PG-13 for saying this.
Road break is fine, don't worry.
Okay.
We're adults here.
But I discovered that like women and men, like they fantasize a lot about being with a trans woman. And whether people say they don't or they do, it's like, don't deny it. The messages are there. And I can see it in your eyes. Like I see it. So, no, so I took it upon myself to not look at it as something negative. I was like, especially after like speaking to like Jamie Senegal and Sue Young and Melina, especially Melina, she was actually the reason why I actually like my tribute when I go in the ring, my split is a tribute to her.
That's awesome.
So because I grew up with Melina and China being my inspiration, no matter what. Those two were my hands down idols. Till this day, they still are my hands down idol. My ultimate dream is to have a match with Melina. It would have been with China, but God rest her soul.
There you go. You answered one of our questions that we usually ask. So
she's awesome. Go. Like she's without even asking, she's telling us all.
She watched the other interviews. She knows. She knows.
Yeah.
Me? No, I didn't watch. No, I didn't know. But no, like that was just that. That's where my name came from. My name came from. I was like, you know what? Let me feed into this in a positive way and be sexy about it. Like my ultimate thing now is be what men desire, what women envy, but sometimes they desire. But I try to keep it as clean as possible because I know there's children. Like I'm not trying to.
Yeah, this is like you said. It's not ECW. It's not on at 1 a.m. If it was, then you could like, maybe switch it up. But
it's not Attitude Era yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially so nowadays.
That's why now I'm like, okay, like I like with my ring gear, which I still haven't debuted, so you guys will have the exclusive. I have new ring gear, and it's way more. God, how can I put it without sounding crazy?
Revealing?
It's kind of revealing, but not really, because it's TV appropriate. I can say that.
Maybe we could say it's way more appropriate for your name. You could say, does it go along with your name a lot better than what we've seen you in before?
Oh, it leaves stuff for the imagination. You know, if you're a really imaginative person, yeah, you're just like, you know, you let your imagination go.
Yes. I agree. Yes. It's more now like, so my old ring gear was what you guys saw me in was something that I had a tribute to the LGBT community with my rainbow on the sides. And now I like look at it like now because I've evolved and now I'm like, okay, like I'm grown now. Like I know what to do. And I may not be the best, but I'm still going to work my butt off. So I was like, let me give my character what she deserves. And at the same time, let me give the fans what they want. Keeping it PG though. Like I think like sometimes, you know, what if one day I end up on Disney? I don't want them to Google that.
Oh yeah, well that unfortunately.
Yeah, because like you said, you know, like with today now, they can, as soon as something you do one thing, people know about it. So like you said, you gotta almost cover all your bases, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, and you know that shows like a lot of your character, like your professionalism, because you are aware of like your surroundings.
Yeah, but it's like how I say, like, you know, like whether you're like, no one's innocent. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying this just in general, like no one's innocent. So like when things like that happen, it's just like don't, like, just, I always say, don't judge someone by their past, because they learn things from there. Like I learned from dealing with the word no so much. I learned how to take that word no and just feel it and just like keep using it to like push myself even more and to just continue. Like, I won't let negativity stop me. And that's one thing. My ultimate goal is to obviously have my dream match. And I'm not stopping until I see that dream match happen.
And that's how we should pursue our dreams. That's, you know, sometimes the journey is even more satisfying than the match itself or the end goal.
Exactly. Yes.
Tell me, like, are you the one that designs your own, like, the new outfit, like the new gear, or you get like input by somebody else, or how is that process work for you?
So, okay. So with my new gear, yes, I designed it myself, but I wanted something simple, and it was something that I was just like, like, how can I put it? And then when I started just like randomly, because what other people don't know about me, I studied fashion design. So I studied fashion design and marketing, and I have my bachelor's in it. So I can pick up a pen and start just doodling anytime, anywhere. And I designed my gear, and it was something that it was very weird for me to do, because I never really took the time to like think like, oh my God, let me design a gear. I would just be that one person that like would go on, like, sorry to say this, but Fashion Nova. And I'd be like, okay, this is cute. That looks presentable. That's good. Sasha Banks will approve. Let's do this. So that's how my first gear was. But now with this one, it's something I'm proud of. It's something that I generally just can't wait to see people's reaction. And also it's something that I want to feel confident of. Like I love just the thought of like, I can't wait to put it on and take my first bump in it. But right now we have to wait.
Yes. Yeah. So Jean-Paul, any questions?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, you know, do you have anything lined up for when you guys come back? Can you reveal any of that? Like, do you have like any like really big shows, or just you personally? Is there any like big match, big feud, something like that coming up in the future that you're looking forward to?
Oh, okay. So one thing that I left undone, and it's something that I want to, I need to finish my business. I had a match with Vita Van Star at Triple WA, and it was a triple threat match, which was me, myself, Vita Van Star, and Lydia Myers. And it was an elimination match, and the final two was me and Vita Van Star, and she's now women's champion at Triple WA. So I feel like we have unfinished business.
I was going to say, I can already tell that don't sit well. So
yeah,
call her out. Call her out right here.
Right here. Call her out. Whatever you want to say, right there. Floor is yours.
Call her out. Okay. Miss Vita Van Star, you have won the title, and you pinned me without me looking. You sit here with a title that should not be yours. And at the end of the day, I can't wait for you to see this, because I want to let you know I'm coming for you. And that title is going to be around my waist.
Right here, exclusive. Vita, if you're listening, right here, a challenge has been issued So if you have what it takes, right here, she deserves a championship opportunity. Right here. There you go. That's awesome. See, there you go. Yeah, you gotta look for the opportunities, right? Raw Break is the land of opportunities here. Not SmackDown anymore. It's Raw Break when you get the opportunities. So talking about opportunities, Rami, tell me, like, so what other companies do you work for? Like, besides Outbreak, where else do you like? Where else have you worked for? Like, what other like, wrestling companies?
Well, because I'm still brand new into the industry, like I still haven't branched out that way yet. I have been in contact with new ones, so I can't reveal that. But what have worked so far, I've worked at Superstar Wrestling, SSW, Triple WA. I debuted in Sanctuary Sun Studios, so there's my matches from there. And Outbreak. Those have been my like priority right now, because I just, I know this is going to sound crazy, but my debut was towards the end of last year. Like my official match out into the indie scene was in November. So coming this November, I'll have 1 year completely out in the indie scene. But yeah, like I just took it upon myself to try to get as many bookings as possible, try to get my name out there, especially working, like I don't mind working with men or women. That's something that doesn't phase me, as you guys saw in Outbreak. I didn't care. I'll throw down too. But it's one thing that like, yeah, like I enjoy. I would love to work for many productions, especially like so many shows. I can't even name them. There's so many. I would love to just be on that poster, and hopefully my ultimate goal before this Corona hit, because I am part of the LGBT community and this is Pride Month, I was hoping to have a title opportunity, you know, and bring one home for the LGBT community. I feel like with everything going on in the world and everyone staying positive, and especially like Pride Month is always the best month. I'm sorry. No disrespect, you guys, but
is it June?
That's all right. It's June. Yeah, our birthdays are in June.
It's our birthday, so yeah.
Our birthdays are in June, so that's fine.
It's a great month.
So it's the best.
It is a legit month.
We support. Yeah, you know what? For everybody in the community, we love you guys. You know, don't let anybody tell you that you're different or you don't belong. You belong.
Exactly.
You know? In the land of God, we all belong. We're all brothers and sisters. That's all it is.
Amen to that.
We are born, we're going to die the same way. You know, when we go to the tomb.
Well, I don't know about you. I probably want to die like Mr. Walt Disney. You know, I want to get frozen.
Yeah. So, like, there you go. So, that's awesome. So, like, but see, like, I see, like, you're working towards your dreams. So, that's really great.
And I was going to say, wrestling is kind of opening back up. So, maybe you'll win something June 29th, June 30th. Who knows? You know.
You
might get something.
You never know.
If the stars align, it could happen.
Yeah, so
I know you may never know. I might just show up on a show and call someone out.
And in that perspective, tell me a little bit about like what do you enjoy the most? Like triple threats, you love tag matches, you love single. What is like your what is that you enjoy the most?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. So I've had intergender matches, and like obviously I love singles matches. I just love singles matches. But when it comes to like tag teams and triple threats, I much rather intergender matches, because I love just throwing down with the guys too. Like I love showing females like we can kick butt too. Whether it's a guy or a girl, I'm still gonna kick your butt. So I enjoy those matches. I actually enjoy those matches a lot, because I love to see the audience's reaction when they see a female just tackle like the tallest guy part of the match. Yeah. So I enjoy that. I enjoy like the I can't believe she just did that. And I'm a rebel. Like I haven't been able to show that much, but 2020 was supposed to be everyone's year. But we on pause right now. We'll press.
Yeah, we're on standby. The only one that is enjoying it is Otis, right? Otis is the only one that's having the greatest year ever. Right, Jean-Paul?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Romy? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but I do agree with the intergender wrestling. It's because, you know, speaking of SmackDown, we don't ever see that on, like, you know, the main roster productions.
No.
Even like AEW, they don't really do it. So,
Mm-mm.
you know, the only place you can really see it is the independent scene. So, you know, when people go to the shows and they see it, everybody always pops because it's like, oh, this is cool. It's actually something different that then we can see going to an independent show that we can't see on, you know, like the big, you know, corporations.
Yeah. I actually wish that they had things like that because, not gonna lie to you, like, I'm not a huge fan. No, I take that back. I am, but I love to see, one thing I love to see, especially like on Raw, SmackDown, and AEW, I love to see women of color as champion due to the fact that for me, like, it's just, I don't know, like, for me growing up, I always grew up seeing like Trish and China, all of them. So like, for an example, now that Sasha is now again the tag team champion with Bayley, I was really hoping for that feud between Sasha and Bayley.
That's still on.
Pause. Yeah, because they wanted like to do SummerSlam in Boston, and that's where Sasha Banks is from. So like they wanted the big pop, the big baby face pop up because they're not going to have crowd.
I want that match so bad because I'm like, we always see the same women in the title picture. And Sasha, I'm sorry to say this, but I feel like WWE, you're doing her wrong because she's been champion, 4 times now?
Yeah.
And they haven't been long reigns.
No, I think this interview is longer than 2 of her title reigns, actually.
Yeah.
Basically. And it's like,
and you're hearing from a fan and actually from a wrestler, WWE. There you go. We're not the only ones that say that.
Yeah.
No, like a lot of people say, like, I know plenty of people that like are like, oh, come on. Like for me, I'm sorry. For me, hands down, the one person I need to see with the title like very soon is Bianca Belair.
Yep, we were saying that too. We said in NXT she should have got, even if it was only a short title reign, give her a title reign.
No shade because I love Charlotte Flair, but I feel like, okay, that's what I think. You have already had titles. You're close to your daddy's record. We need to see other women. Yeah. I get it. You're the queen. We respect you. No shade. I love her as a character and as a person. I don't know her as a person, but I want to see more women, like especially like Zelina Vega. Like she's short like me, and her indie career versus her WWE career, her indie career was amazing.
Yeah,
she was pretty legit
with
on
the
TNA,
title,
right?
especially like I truly haven't seen a Latina as a winner, even though I know Bayley is Spanish, but I don't never hear her.
But they changed her name, so it will sound more, you know, like.
I was gonna say unless you know like her shoot name, you know, you wouldn't think you see Bayley, and when she had the pigtail smiles and stuff when she first debuted, you wouldn't even know.
The one that they have right now in WWE besides Selena is Carolina Garcia. Yeah, she's from Chile, but like, she hasn't really debuted in main roster. The only 2 matches she had was like one Sin Cara.
I thought she got.
She got main event. She was on main event.
Okay.
She fought Bianca Belair and Asuka. So like she's getting her chance. You know,
for that, and also I would love, hands down, I would love to see Naomi with another title ring.
Yeah.
I feel like she is probably one of the most talented in-ring women WWE has ever had. A match with her, I would be honored.
Yeah, she has all the talent. I feel like they just never put her in a storyline that the fans can care about. Anytime she's in a storyline, it's like
there's plenty of women that. Like there's plenty of women that are in WWE right now that deserve to have a title reign, and it's just like no disrespect to WWE because I love it. That's what I grew up with, but it's like stop giving your titles to the same people. Like you have plenty of people in your industry that deserve to receive a title. They worked extremely hard being a part of your business. And especially like one of my things, even with the indie scene, I would love to see more promotions give their titles to the new people, because when you have legends have the title and over again and have it for a very long period of time, you're not giving chances to others that deserve it. Because for me, if I were a promoter, which God, that's not in my mind. So guys, please don't tweet me.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not anytime soon. Not ever.
Mm-hmm.
Or we don't know. Knock on wood. But for me, I would give my titles to like newcomers, especially like I would give my titles to people that I know the audience love. You know, like that they genuinely feed off. Like it's something so magical when you see that like that fresh new face get this huge pop with the fans. And if it's a constant thing, I would give that person a title shot.
Oh yeah.
And
Because
like even if it's a short reign or like, you know, like just a little bit, but I for me it's another thing. Like it's constant seeing, you know, indie scenes just repeatedly give the same titles to others. And I understand that newcomers have to work hard, but I feel like if you know and you're seeing they're talented.
Oh yeah, if they're extremely talented,
it's not all about the title, but when you are a newcomer, especially now in 2020, what I can say from my own perspective, I can't speak for no one else, is when you even just give me a title opportunity, you're telling me you're doing good. Keep pushing, keep doing good, keep moving forward. You're doing what you need to. And that's something that I want everyone in the industry and even people outside of the industry, as a fan, as a worker, you can do it. You, as long as you work hard for what you want to do, you can do it. Believe in yourself. You don't have a support system, find a support system. Find those friends that tell you, you got this. And if they tell you, no, don't do it, those are not your friends.
Yeah.
You find people that will support you no matter what.
That's true. So, Ronnie, tell us like you were talking about Monday Night Raw, where you're talking about WWE. So tell me a little bit about your take on AEW. What do you think about it?
I love it. 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 With all my heart. I love AEW. Like, where was this when I grew up? When I was growing up, like I needed this. Especially my number one thing is what I enjoy the most is there's so much diversity in AEW. Like, there's not your typical just scary guys and the normal masculine guys, like, or the all-American guys. Like, it's so diverse with so much talent. From like Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss came and he killed it. And I am so proud of him for that. Like, I honestly, when I saw that Sonny got signed to AEW, especially me that I met Sonny, like, while he was like a baby still in the indie scene, like, I was like, oh my God, to see his growth. I was like, what? You're in AEW? So I was just like, I was taken back, and I just like to see how he is not your typical wrestler. And as an African-American, like him being a femme gay and being taken so serious is something so beautiful to me because he deserves it. He's extremely talented. Like, one thing for me is I like to see that. I like to see every, like, you know, letter of the LGBT community plus. And so like seeing Sonny, and then as an inspiration to me, once I saw Nyla, I was like, that's it. I gotta continue. I gotta continue being in this industry because now I gotta be part of AEW. So that's the goal. One day, you guys. One day.
Nyla is opening the doors for, you know, a lot of people.
Oh yeah, she's definitely was like the voice of those people. It's like, oh, am I ever going to be represented? Can I make it in this industry? She came through. She's like, yes, you can. You know?
And that's one thing that, like, to me, I find it so beautiful because she's been through a lot, obviously. And obviously she has to break down a lot of doors being in this industry, especially being a trans woman. I can proudly say we kind of been through the same thing, me and Nyla, because I happened to go through a couple of those doors too. When I actually spoke to her on that, we actually like communicated, and she told me the same thing, because at one point people were thinking that we were related because of like, you know, like the way that I dress and how we both wear headbands. And I'm like, no, I just wear headbands because in the ring, I don't want my hair sweating on my face. And she wears it because it's part of her gimmick. And I'm just like when people started asking me, like, are you guys related? Because you guys kind of look alike. I was like, no, not every trans girl looks alike. Don't do that. I was like, let's not do that. But yeah, like it was just something so like speaking to her and then speaking to like knowing Sunny, like it was just something that I'm just like, wow, like AEW, like so much respect.
And yeah, they're more inclusive. They're more inclusive.
Yeah, AEW is cool because they're almost like an indie scene, but they just have the production of, you know, millions and millions of dollars, but they keep it where like the indie values are still there. It's just a bunch of like ragtag people, like you said, all different walks of life, different kind of characteristics, and they put them all together and they make it work.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I sometimes wish that like WWE was in that type of way, like embracing people's like difference and like especially like sexuality and stuff like that. Like I feel like it's 2020 and it's time to finally normalize that, especially sexuality. I feel like you shouldn't hide to be who you are at all. So when you're, you know, like AEW, I'm just so like just in love. Like even their stories and like how they like have their matches. Like I'm sorry, but like I am there every day paying attention to if AEW Dark posted, AEW the show. Like I pay attention to everything AEW, and I probably follow half of the
if you think about it, Ronnie, one guy that was on Outbreak, he wrestled on AEW Dark not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Mr. Graham.
Yeah, he was on AEW Dark.
Yeah, he wrestled there, and it was very shocking to me to see him there because obviously there was no like promotion or anything. Like he just like when he arrived, the picture I just saw the picture and I was like, oh my god, I did a show with him a couple months ago. Like, woo!
Yeah, it feels good because we were there. You know, he went, okay, that's cool. But see, there's a question for you. No anesthesia. That's how I ask the questions. You know, if they put to you 2 contracts, exact same value, exact same money, dates. One says AEW, All Elite Wrestling. The other one says WWE, NXT. Which one Ronii Flores picks? And why?
Oh, AEW, hands down.
You will turn down NXT?
Yes, without a doubt. 100%. Here's my thing. Don't get me wrong. I, like everyone else in this industry, we all grew up wanting to be a part of WWE.
Yes.
That's something I will never say no to. But my one thing is, when I watch wrestling now, I'm still a fan. 100% a fan. I watch literally religiously every day. Even before I was speaking to you guys, I was literally replaying like China's WrestleMania match. Like I can religiously sit here and watch like Mick Foley. Like I am a huge fan of like plenty men in the WWE. And like I love Dolph Ziggler. Like his in-ring ability is phenomenal.
He's legit.
And for me, like even like Mick Foley's, like everything of Mick Foley, like I'm obsessed with. Like I know it's weird because when people look at me, they're like, "You like Mick Foley?" I'm like, nah.
Foley's God, though. So.
Foley's God. Is the
that's what the sign says. So
exactly. So it's like for me, like I'm like, oh God, like come on, people, like just you guys. If you love wrestling, you know, like who's like who's the eye catcher. But yeah, like no, like I hands down would pick AEW because I feel like if I were to go on NXT, WWE NXT, sorry to say this, and I hope this doesn't, you know, come of a light, but I'm just gonna say because I'm real. I will never sit here and lie. one thing is I enjoy watching NXT, but I feel like they only like put the spotlight on like the main people, like with the championships. And when it comes to like for an example, I love the wrestler Aaliyah. Like I generally do. And now I'm so happy that they're giving her a storyline, but why is she losing?
Oh yeah, we always say the problem with NXT is it's a 2-hour show, but realistically their roster is like made for like 5 hours. There's so many people on their roster that not everyone sees the spotlight.
Exactly.
So like that's kind of like it's to go there. It's like you're just gonna get lost.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I also feel like, honest, all jokes aside, I feel like they should bring more women into the picture. And the reason why I say this is because they keep using the same women over and over again. And as real as I can be by saying this, one thing is I love seeing fresh new faces. Like I'm not going to lie, when Sasha came in the scene and I saw her, her debut at Raw, from coming from NXT and like to the main roster, like I was like obsessed with Sasha. I was like to the point where like I wanted to dye my hair purple. I needed the boss rings. I needed the jacket. I needed the Kanye West glasses back era 2006 and 7. Like I needed that. I was like, I want to be her. And then it was just like so crazy to me to see like just how crazy like everything gets. Like, no. And then now that I'm in the actual like indie scene, I can gladly say no, like, especially speaking to people that have auditioned and have gone through the process. They do things that I'm just like, wait, why y'all making them train like that? For what? Why? Like, and one thing about me is nope, not over my dead body will I ever change my weight for somebody. No. I'm a woman that I love women empowerment. I love women of every shape, size. I'm not, I don't like women in that way, but I'm very positive, But
we get you. Yeah, we're good.
I was like, but for me, like, I just like, no, like, I don't know. Like for me, I feel like WWE is missing something. And one thing that WWE is lacking is the thing that AEW has. And I just love AEW because I just love seeing diversity. I love seeing stories. I love seeing the different type of crowds and just to see okay, for an example, who Brandy Rhodes is. I met her, we all met her obviously through like WWE. Mm-hmm. And then when she became the wife and who she is today, it's like, wow, like look at her. Like for me, I'm like, wow, okay, go Brandy. Okay, she's doing her thing. And then I just like, I don't know. I'm sorry guys, but not to like blabble, but for me, I just love watching the growth of women because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm all about women's rights and women empowerment.
Girl power.
I am 1,000%
right.
power, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I watch the pay-per-views just for the women's show, just for the women's matches, because my thing is, I feel like with women in WWE and especially AEW, what I enjoy about the women about AEW is that they're all included. It's not like not one is missing. Like they're all included. And meanwhile in WWE, it's like, for an example, Dana Brooke been there for years. Where's her title? Tamina, I'm sorry, but that last pay-per-view that she had versus Bayley, Tamina should have won that title. Hands down. 10 years in the industry and they didn't give her a title shot, and the only title she has had is a 24/7 championship? I'm sorry. Really?
Yeah, that's it. WWE doesn't know how to recognize some of their employees. That's for sure.
And it's something that like I can gladly say like I'm still a fan. I'm still watching, obviously. But it just makes me sad because it's like, come on, guys. Like, they worked their butts off for you for years. And another person that I know, she's not in the roster anymore, but I still kind of get butthurt when I talk about the women because I look at her and I'm like, damn, she deserved another chance. And it was Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
Like, she had the Divas title one time, and she was the first and only African-American to win the Divas title. But that girl was in WWE for plenty of years. Like, she deserved another title reign. And I see women like her, like, come on, like, girl, you deserved so much more than what they were offering you. And that's why when I see like women like Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, and like I see all these women that have left WWE, and I'm like, wow, like, go that way. Don't go that way then. Like, go that way. Like, if they're doing what they're doing, you're just going to continue doing what you're doing. So for me, hands down, my answer will be AEW.
Okay.
AEW is just,
there you go. Gianpolo,
AEW is just
question
amazing.
for Ronnie.
Yeah, and then I know with AEW, I agree 100%. I think they're going to represent or allow you to represent yourself in the best way. They're not going to be like, oh, well, can you just fix this? Can you do this instead? Can you change that? But earlier, you know, do you have any, now you have your dream company, but is there any dream places that you would want to wrestle? Because AEW also, a good thing about them, they allow you to, oh, you want to work a show in Japan or Mexico or, you know, the UK, wherever, they'll let you have that kind of freedom.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
is there
I know
any
that.
place that you would really want
what
to,
what
like,
would be a place that you would like to like wrestle, you know, overseas, you know? What would
Japan. Be like? Japan, hands down. I love with a passion. I don't know, like something about just how Japan wrestlers work calls my name. And other than Japan, I know this is probably going to sound crazy, especially to the fans, but I love authentic lucha. I love real lucha where you see people actually like beating the crap out of each other. And I love learning from seeing like the women, especially like, well, both. I can say both because, for an example, you guys met him at Outbreak, Felipe Jr.
Yeah.
When I got to know him and seeing like his way of wrestling, I was like, whoa, okay. Like, I was used to the learn this way, learn that way. You want to learn this way, you got to go do it. Okay, here, do this. And then when I saw him like in the ring just warming up way before the show, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I want to do that too. Can I jump that high? I don't know, but we're going to find out today. And one thing about me is, even though like I'm very scared of heights, but when my adrenaline kicks, I am like an adrenaline junkie. So I will legit like just throw my body. Like, I don't know what is up with me. I just throw my body and I'm just like, fly. So I'm just like, no. But no, like Japan and Mexico. I feel like Japan and Mexico are like the two like top number one spot for me. Because it's just like, for me, Japan is just beautiful. And seeing especially women like Asuka and all of the new, you know, like Asian or Chinese people that have joined WWE, I look at all of them and I'm like, whoa.
Oh, yeah?
They're legends. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
or at least several matches with some of them and learn, especially learn. I feel like as a short person, I have to learn kind of how to, you know, like tweak my moves because I'm not tall. I can't give you a super kick. Like, my leg will hit your stomach, not your chin.
It'll be like Mick Foley with the sweet shin music when he kicks you in the shin.
Exactly. Like, I'm not like me. I'm generally really short. Like people that see the pictures of me, like they're like, wow, you must be like 5'8", 5'7". I'm like, no, like be happy I'm 5'3" on paper. Like, no, I'm short. Like, I think that I literally say I'm 5'2" and that's it. But I'm like, on paper says I'm 5'3", so I guess this bun helps.
The bun is
the bun and the wrestling
bun
boots
is
make it a
helping.
5'3".
Yeah,
Right?
that's pretty great. But yeah, those are like extremely like two good schools for you. You will learn a lot, and then what will be like you said like the big you AEW is the company you will work for. Like aside of like you said the girls, like what's like the best wrestler for you as a guy in guys? What's the guy that you look up to right now?
Well, that's a difficult question. Oh, okay. So
We put you on the spot,
I know. I see that putting me on the spot. I'm breaking a sweat. Okay. So growing up, it was always Eddie Guerrero. And then the older I got, it became Mick Foley. And then for some reason, I had a phase that it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. So those are like, and obviously Undertaker, Kane, like all the legends. I will hands down like vouch for all the legends. Some. I'll take that back. Some. Now that I'm older and I'm wiser, I'm like, oh, you said what? Okay. But especially for my people, yeah, no. I'm obsessed with Roman Reigns. Like, I think that man deserves to be in like Maximum's top 100 most hottest men alive. And then seeing him there and then seeing his ring abilities is like, oh, okay. Like, do you have a brother?
Yeah, I think he does.
Honestly. From now, like the generation now is like so different though. But obviously, like one man that I know for a fact I would love to see, like in the big picture, is Ricochet. I don't know why, but like I was introduced to Ricochet obviously by NXT. I didn't really like see. Well, no, I take that back. Sorry, I was introduced to Ricochet in Lucha Underground.
That's right, Prince Puma.
Yeah, I was introduced to Ricochet. I completely forgot. Sorry. This is why I should go back to being blonde. But I was introduced to Ricochet in Lucha Underground, and it was something that like when I saw his work, I was like, whoa, who is that? And then it wasn't until I saw him in NXT and then I recognized the tattoo that I was like, oh, you were somewhere that I remember. And coming to find out it was Ricochet. I feel like Ricochet is so underrated now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like they're just pushing him in the side as another high flyer. Just another. And it's like, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, there's guys like him and really? Cedric Alexander that they have them and they're so talented on the roster and they just bury them. And it's like, why? Is it because they're not 6'4", 300 pounds? It's a shame, but... they
don't know how to. They don't use the talent the way that they should. They never do. They just never do. And if somebody gets mad about it, is fix your writing team. Get the best out of these guys. How can the revival, being 2 weeks in AEW be so great and years in the main roster, nothing. So now, Ronnie, I'm going to ask you like your best memory so far in wrestling and your worst memory so far in your career. No anesthesia, this okay. Like that, boom.
Yeah. Okay. My best memory right now till this day is my first match. My first match was something I looked forward to for 5 years. I waited 5 years to have my first match. And it was something that was so like needed in my life. Because I felt like I honestly was like, you guys, at one point I was like, am I ever going to go to debut? Like, what is happening? Like, hello, she's here. Did you forget she's here? And my debut match, like seeing like my friends like in the audience, and I remember my song playing and I remember going like, it's time. And I won my first match. So I remember walking backstage after like seeing all the women and men like clap. The ones that have like seen me, they were all standing and clapping, and I went backstage and I just cried. I just bawled. I hugged. So I don't even remember. I hugged so many people because they were all like congratulating me, like, you did it finally, and I'm like, yes, I did. But it was like so bad. Like it wasn't a bad match. It was just like, it was so bad. Like for me, like I just kept crying. Like the night my match was like over, and like we were in the last match and I was still crying backstage. So that it was like something till this day. And it also happened during this month, Pride Month. So like this month and just like everything in general is like something that I like respect and I will always and forever be grateful for. Now, worst, like what was the question? Worst match?
What was the worst memory so far? Yeah, worst memory so
far in this industry. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna keep it professional. My worst memory, honestly, was just it was just basically like dealing with the word no and dealing with I'll just say people that did not want to use me because of the woman that I am. They wouldn't use me because they feel like I should not have been given the opportunity to work with females because I was not a female. And it's something that I find like a slap in the face to me, because if people were if people were more educated, they would understand that the woman that I am today is a self-made woman, and I stand here proud and extremely happy in my own skin and confident enough to help others in need. And one thing about me is when you truly get to know who I am, you see that I am a positive person and I just love to make people laugh. Like I don't like the whole, she said this, she's doing that. Like, no.
You don't like to start off.
Yeah, like I'm much rather let's go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4. Like
That's
I
fine.
much rather get a 4 for $4 and order Domino's and just chill. Like I much rather that than us sit here and bicker. Like I feel like in this industry, we all need to uplift each other instead of bring each other down. And one thing that I realized being in this industry is you need to know what you're doing. And whether you do something bad, learn from it. Gain the respect. And whether you don't have the respect or not, always know who you are. Like, don't lose yourself in trying to please others. You have to please yourself before you please others. And that's one thing that I learned being in this industry, something like negative that I've learned being in this industry and things that I've dealt with. I've learned, and I think everyone in my friends, my fans, and anyone, which is so crazy to say, but anyone that is like, supporting me, one thing that I know is I'm so grateful for having the positive energy and for the people that have stuck around with me since day one. Because I can gladly say if it wasn't because of a dream and because of the support of so many fans, I don't ever think I would ever have been able to take a bump.
Ronnie, this is the time that like we give you the floor and then plug in all your social media, upcoming like shows that you have, everything that you want to share with the Road Break family. The floor is yours.
Okay, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at Ronii, RONI, and another I, so there's 2 I's, Pro Wrestling. That is my wrestling page. But if you want to follow me in my normal one, it's Ronii Flores, RONII, Flores, FLORES. You can find me on Facebook and you can find me on Instagram.
Same thing, Ronii Flores.
Yeah, everything's the same. Yeah, I don't change my name.
And any upcoming like shows that you have or anything?
So right now I can't really spill, but if you follow me on social medias, I'll let you know when the next show will be. I can't really tell because of the coronavirus. We don't know when everything will come happen. I would love to just blur things out right now, but due to the fact of the COVID-19, I have to make sure that everything is okay and safe. And one thing is, I will definitely be posting when fans are allowed to finally like make their entrance again and see us live, which I can't wait for. I can't wait to finally hug all the fans again and take pictures with everyone. So please, and also please don't be afraid to come and ask me for pictures or anything. I've had several times people like, you seem scary. I'm like, no, I swear I'm not. I swear I'm not.
No, you seem pretty approachable. Yeah,
I'm a very fun person. I like to play games. So
well, there you go.
You can come at me in any show, and we can literally take as much pictures as you guys want. Goofy.
And remember, you said we can do the 444, so
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Yeah, we'll get Wendy's. Yeah, take pictures.
We'll get Wendy's and everything, and Ronnie, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show. Yep. Like, you're an amazing person. Thank you so much for everything that you do, everything that you represent for all the communities, Hispanic community and the LGBT. I think it is. Yeah, like the acronym, I don't have it memorized yet, but like all of all the love that you have, just because like you want to like spread that message. We're all humans. Let's try to focus on that. During this time.
Let's thank you guys so much for having me. And if you guys ever want me again, I'll gladly be back.
Remember, like, once you are here in the family, once you belong to the Road Break family forever. So we wish you also the best. And, once you start having the shows, we'll try to be there for you. And then we can actually have our interview in person. We'll keep our social distance and we'll bring the 444.
Yes. 444.
Spicy nuggets. Every day. So, like, please, family, follow Ronnie. Follow her on all the social media. So now, Jean-Paul, where they can find us on social media.
So like I always say in the interviews, you got a lot of clicking. So you're going to follow Ronnie on all her social media. Then you're going to follow us. If you haven't already, the original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitter. Or not Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then Twitter, you can follow us on the OG Rope Break.
Yep. And from the meat and potatoes, and this wonderful interview with this beautiful young lady right there. So, family, there's only one more thing that we have to say, Jean-Paul, and thank you again, Ronnie. Have the best of luck for you. We hope that like you get that championship opportunity, and the next time we talk to you, once you have that belt around your waist, you give us another time so we can chat about you as a champion. So, Jean-Paul, you and me at the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Bye, guys.